with many of you eating now, and some of you about to start eating very soon, just let me remind you of a couple things. Most of you are not going to be hungry for at least 3 or 4 days. Okay? You're not going to be hungry while you're fasting because your body's living on reserves and wants to keep going. We're breaking your fast because you've got a plane to get on, or because you've got to go back to work, or because we're just tired of having you here and you have to get out of here. Whatever the reason is, okay, you've got a schedule you're going to stay on, and you need to break your fast even though your body's not going to be hungry. Okay, now, there's a few people here, 4 or 5 people, that are fasting 40 days or so. Some of those people might actually get to the point where they're hungry. But if you're fasting for 5, 11, 16, 21, 26, 30 days, most of you are never going to get hungry. You need to eat your meals anyway. Okay? If you don't eat your meals, you're not going to get stronger. You're going to have a hard time getting out of here and doing what you need to do. Okay, the program is set up so that by the time you leave here, you feel fantastic. But that only happens if you're actually eating the meals, okay, and continuing to drink the water. And if that's difficult for you, talk to me about it. But understand, you still need to find a way to make it happen. Because if it's not, the fat, like, my mouth tastes bad, I don't want to eat because the food doesn't taste good. That could happen. Okay, some of you have a bad taste in your mouth, right? That's not going to change instantly. It may take a little while. Okay? I'm not hungry. Yes, I know. You're not going to be hungry, I'm telling you. But you need to eat anyway. Okay? It's too much food. Now, some of you have already heard me talk about this, but if you break your fast with watermelon, on the first day, each meal is 17 calories. The second day is 34. The third day is 68. Is there anybody here that's going to tell me that 68 calories is too much for you to eat at one time? I don't think so. Okay? There's something else going on. And the point is, we still need to get that food into you, because if we don't, the end of the week's going to show up, or whenever it is you got to go, and you're going to have a hard time doing what you need to do. Okay? So just remember, in fact, the irony is, right, it's kind of a catch-22 in a sense, because I don't want to eat because I feel nauseous. Yeah, you probably feel nauseous at that point of the process because you're rehydrating old material and reabsorbing nasty stuff into your bloodstream. So yeah, but because of that, I don't want to eat. Okay, great, but unless you eat and drink enough, the two things that are going to be most difficult for you, that stuff's not going to leave your body. Okay? In other words, for this to change, you have to eat and drink to get that stuff out of your system. That's the only thing that's going to move it. Okay, it's not going to go otherwise. All right, so just be clear. I'm completely aware you're probably not hungry. You might not be hungry the whole time. It might take you 4 or 5 days to become hungry. That's okay. It doesn't matter. We're talking about tiny amounts of calories, but you do need to eat them. You need to find a way to make that happen. It's entirely possible that toward the late part of the refeeding process, you might be ready to go down to 3 meals. But that rarely works with people doing shorter fasts. So we had somebody last session, I think she had fasted for maybe 26 days. I think it was a 9-day refeeding period. I don't remember. But she had said, I'm ready to go to 3 meals. And then found out she couldn't get enough calories in eating 3 meals. Why not? You've always gotten enough calories in before, right? Why does it become difficult for people when they're refeeding to get enough calories in at one sitting? Well, for the same reason that people tell me that 68 calories or even 17 calories feels like too much food. Does anybody here really think that the 17 calories is too much food? Or the 25 if they're eating something else, whatever it is? Of course not. So what's going on? Why do people feel full? They've got a tiny little thing in their stomach and it's mostly water. Why do they feel full? Anyone?
Stomach is shrunk?
Stomach is shrunk. No. Stomach doesn't shrink. Your stomach's an elastic bag. It's only about the size of a fist, but it doesn't get any smaller than that. Okay, that's what it looks like empty. It expands, it's elastic. You can pack quite a bit in there. How many of you have experience with this? Okay, the Americans have done Thanksgiving. You know what I'm talking about. No, it doesn't shrink. It's not your stomach. The issue is that you've got all this old stuff in your intestines, which is sitting there like a giant sponge absorbing water. So we're feeding you high water content meals, which you need to rehydrate. But what happens is that stuff absorbs water better than it did while you're fasting, when you start eating. And you feel full because of that, because of the presence of that material. That's why you feel full. This is what I was saying earlier, right? You have to eat because you want to move that stuff out. You got to get it hydrated. Yeah, but it feels uncomfortable. Well, sorry, but you got to do what you got to do to make it work, right? The thing to do.
You're saying if a person went all the way, they would have gotten it out.
No.
The other stuff.
No, I'm not saying that. No one's going to eliminate all the stuff while fasting. Okay, most of the old hard material, the stuff that's been building up in your body for decades, it's not coming. You have to fast long enough, but you also need to be refeeding. You have to fast long enough with enough water while resting, and then you need to start eating. So the people that are refeeding, most of them don't have a bowel movement until the 4th day. Nothing comes out because there's this hard stuff blocking the way. Okay, there needs to be some stuff coming in with water and fiber to help get that stuff moving. That stuff is only going to start moving for most people once they're refeeding for several days already. Okay? All right, but you've got to get this stuff out before you're able to eat enough at one time. This is why it's common for people to say, felt like a lot of food, right? That tiny little thing, 17 calories. Felt like a lot of food. Was it? Of course not. Of course not, but it feels like it.
Is that 17 calories for the whole day?
No, that's per meal.
Per meal.
Yeah. But still not much, right? I mean, it's enough. It's enough. But it's just not very much. It's definitely not going to be too much. So once someone starts to move more of this old material out, then they can handle eating more at one time. It may take you a while to get there, some of you. You're going to go from the 4 meals you're going to eat, most of you, at the end of your feeding process here. When you get home, you might want to go to 3 meals, okay? And eventually to 2. Ideally, what you want to do is listen to your body. But what you might find is that some of you, so how many of you feel like whatever you're eating now is enough? Like at the end of the meal, you feel pretty full. Those of you that are eating, raise your hand if you feel like that's plenty. Anybody have that experience? You're feeling that, you're feeling that. Robert, you're not feeling that? You're feeling that? I thought so. Okay. It's a common experience. So you're feeling like you could eat more, right? And you're getting more each day.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you're not walking away like starving.
I'm not walking myself.
You're okay. Yeah, you're okay. And some people feel like it's work to get it all in, right? It feels like a lot, okay? And yet, most of you are only on day 4 or 5, which means you're still only eating, 100 calories at a time, maybe a little more than that. It's not very much, right? Remember, as I've told you guys, when I sit down to eat once or twice a day, I mean, it's going to be a watermelon this size, the whole thing, okay? 2 whole papayas. It's a lot more than most of you are eating now. But I only eat once or twice a day. I can get all that in because I'm not rehydrating a bunch of old stuff in my intestines. My system feels empty. So it's no problem for me to eat that much at once, like no problem at all. I never feel full when I do that, okay? I mean, I can feel full, but I have to eat a lot more than that to do it. Hi, enjoying my videos? If you'd like to learn much more, check out the Academy for Vibrant Living, where our Vibrant Health course will teach you everything you need to know to take your health to an amazing new level. And if you'd like to turn your passion for health into a lucrative career, check out the Health Coaching course, where you can become a professional, certified health coach and help as many people as possible see amazing results.